What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the best icon wingers. We're going to start off with some of the cheaper options like our man John Barnes. So he's an 89 rated left wing. This is his prime version and the best you're going to get for right now. Obviously with campaigns this could change and we will do an update if we eventually get the alternative icons that we've been leaked. Not seen anything more about them, but we've got a 4-star coming in at just shy of 200,000 coins. And honestly, for a cheap option left wing, yes, there is plenty of options you can get that are non-icon based, but these are all specific into your icons. We will do one based on all of the other players, but this is going to be all icons in general. We've got great pace on him. I feel like with John Barnes, we try and put him in the middle because I believe he can be in that cam as the alternative position, but I just feel like he's not quite got that agility balance, whereas he gets a little bit of a free roam sort of action down the wing. You only tend to go against fullbacks. Maybe a centre defensive mid tries to pull over, but he does work really well for these players that in the middle, they just get bombarded. They don't quite have the Ronaldinho-esque sort of dribbling. They're not a Neymar. They don't manage to get that quick turning. But down the wing, we've got a good amount of pace. We go with the Hunter as well. We add even more pace to him. He ends up with, I think, about 97, 98, I can imagine. And then obviously a bit more of that shooting boost. We've got great composure, good amount of passing. I think for 200,000 coins and under, and more than likely only going to drop more, we've got a nice option here. In terms of the next player, I would suggest if you have got him, the World Cup Stoichkov would be 100% the better shout. The 4-star is always perfect with them different campaigns, but as that was an SBC, it wouldn't be fair to put him in because obviously you cannot get him. Are you tired of using players like this? I would much rather have teams more like this. Then I recommend going over to skycoach.gg for all of your coaching and coins needs. They are cheap, fast and reliable, but at the checkout make sure you are using code JT11 for a discount on your orders. Back to the video. But we have got the 4-star Freestar. And I'm kind of putting him in this left wing because A, his other versions are left wing. Even though this prime is a striker, he can be an alternative position at the left wing. But I think as well, if I'm looking at an Mbappe, for instance, a lot of people do tend to have him. We've got a player of the month, Ben Yedder. In terms of a striking option, having only a 4-star Freestar at this point in the game might be a little bit on the lower side of your want list. Whereas on the wing, I still feel like it is respectable to have that as long as you've got the skills. The weak foot always matters at some point, especially endgame, but I do think you could get away with it, especially with all of these stats going forward. You've got a striker or a left wing, whatever you want. If you're playing a 4-3-3, he can be almost that left forward rather than obviously a left mid. I would say definitely a forward role rather than the left mid. We're not talking about players that can come back. It is mainly focused on going forward and attacking. And I think Stoichkov is a great option. We then go on to Henry and very much the same sort of prowess really. We have got a 4-4 with him, which is always nice. The base and mid are both left wings, but we've got a striker version here. But the one thing we've always really struggled with Henry is the balance. The balance has always been a struggle with him. I don't know why he's got so low. Every single card has the low balance. I would love to see what like a 94, 95 Henry would look like with like 85 balance. I just feel like this card would be tenfold. It would be incredible. You know he has to be in that top area of the Cruyffs and Eusebios because that I think would really fix this card. There may be other stuff, but I do think that is just a beacon of what the problem is half the time because finishing is absolutely unreal. We've got great pace. The composure could do with a little bit more, but again, 86 is still doable. There's cards out here that we would definitely die for and they've got the same sort of composure. So I think the balance would be the thing that really changes this card. And I think if you're not wanting him as a striker, the left wing is definitely an option for him. We then go on to Figo as his World Cup card. Couldn't really pronounce it then, but we have got obviously the 5-star 4-star now rather than the 4-4. I feel like the World Cup is not too much less than the prime, and that is the case for a lot of World Cup icons that have got then a prime version. More than likely, if there's a skill move or weak foot upgrade, I would 100% take that over a +1/+2. It is just 100% the best way to go with it. It does make a difference, and definitely you don't see a minute difference between a 91 and say a 92, 93 Figo. It just isn't going to happen that way. We've still got very good stats throughout, and again, another mid sort of tier right wing. We then go on to the normal 3 in Georgie Best. A 4-star, 4-star, can be cam, left wing, right mid, and right wing, so he's got a good amount of positions that he can be. So if you've already got an icon right wing that you want, for instance, a Garrincha, a Jarzinho, somebody like Figo, I was just thinking of who we spoke about then, you can obviously put him on that left wing as of the alternative positions. Obviously before you could only keep him down the right side, now we can switch him over, which again always has a nice benefit. If you wanted to be cutting in on that right foot, you've got the ability to. Again, another cracking player, can't argue with him. Would be nice to get a bigger version of him as well, a nice dynamic with an alternative or team of the season captain's icon at some point, but we will see that later on in the game. We then have Garrincha, who also does have a World Cup version, but it has no difference on that skill move and weak foot, so the prime is always going to be one on top. And I believe the World Cup is actually coming in more expensive, even though there's only a +1 and -1 between the two. I think it's dribbling and physical or passing, I want to say. So what I think it's passing and physical by the looks of it. No, passing and dribbling. So you'd get a 95 dribbling and 95 passing on the World Cup, whereas you get 94 and 96 on this version. I'd always take a bigger composure gap there, and I think definitely the player to go for in the more higher bracket. And then we move on to the new one. Jarzinho is incredible. The stats are very similar. We don't necessarily have the most amount of passing in comparison, and obviously dribbling takes a little bit of a hit, but we have got the 93 composure compared to the 91 on Garrincha. Both of them obviously with that 5-star, 4-star, both of them can be a right wing, right mid. Obviously with Jarzinho can be a striker as well, so you can actually get George Best left wing, Jarzinho striker, and obviously Garrincha on the right wing, if you really wanted to. I don't think Jarzinho is going to be a striker for me, but it is always an option if you wanted. Plus, the mid SBC everybody seems to do, or at least everybody who I come up against has definitely done that right wing. We then have a Team of the Year icon, an incredible upgrade for Pires. Makes him so much better, it's unreal. As a left wing, very quick, great finishing, very good passing, dribbling's absolutely elite, and he's got the stamina to back it up. This is a big upgrade for the Pires sort of saga. The base mid prime, they're okay, but they're definitely coming in on the lower side. The prime most definitely is not terrible, but you're not really going to take him over anybody that you can actually already get. Whereas the Team of the Year icon is an absolute masterpiece. They've definitely done really well with them World Cup and Team of the Years. We then have another fantastic card in Team of the Year, Beckham. 4-star, 4-star. Again, very much like Beckham's brand new into the game last year. The base mid prime was okay. We had a nice centre mid version. Obviously, he's back onto that right mid, but he just wasn't being used. He's not quick enough. He didn't have necessarily the shooting that you'd really want. The passing was always going to be elite, as we know Beckham, that was his main thing. And dribbling-wise was good, but most definitely not as good as Garrincha, Best. Obviously now Jarzinho it just wasn't hitting. Now we've got this Team of the Year, it puts him again back on the map. Like Vidic, like Nesta, very much like Pirlo. This is a wonderful idea that they've gone with, and I think most definitely have added a different sort of variation to these cards that was definitely needed. Icons needed an upgrade of something. We had the prime moments, but I feel like they, again, was at the end of the game. There's no real use for them once we've got all of the team of the seasons, the team of the years, the footies. Icons then is just, again, Hullet, R9, Cruyff, Eusebio. Now we're adding something mid-game. We're seeing, obviously, World Cups before the primes. We're seeing Team of the Years during the primes. And then, who knows, after, we might see some shapeshifters. We might see some captains, Team of the Season. Footies could have icons as well. I really hope they do double down with these icons, because most definitely there is a lot of untapped potential. And then, finally, my man. Team of the Year icon R10 is outstanding. He's extinct at 15 mil because obviously the supply is just most definitely not there. If you want to use this card, you're gonna have to go in draft, unless you've just got more coins than you can care for and a bot that can literally search R10 all day, because there is very few that normally come on the market. But this card is an absolute gem. There's only one issue that I could ever find with this, and it's very, very nitpicky, is the fact that he's not a 5-5. This card was dying out for that 5-star weak foot foot upgrade. Everything else is absolutely perfect. He's rapid, he's incredible at finishing, the passing's elite, the dribbling is next level, he's got a bit of physicality as well. Honestly, there is nothing they could do with this card other than literally adding that weak foot to make it the god of all Ronaldinhos. We normally get the prime moments, but this version is something special and is worth every penny if A, you can find him, and B, have the coins to splurge out on him, because he is a lot of coins, and more than likely we might see a re-release of these probably towards the end of the game now, I can imagine. I was surprised we've not had like a prime World Cup Team of the Year icon SBC, but I can imagine that will come in due course. So let me know down below your favourite wingers in icon versions. We will be doing a meta wingers as well for all of the other players if you want to see that. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this though. Check out the other videos on screen, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.